Darwin, you said something about older men being attracted to younger women more because of like health and fitness. Is that what you said? And it's more so the younger women.
No, what I was saying is men who look to women for beauty and sex want a specific outcome. And when I stated about the thing about younger women is I think women being beautiful is more valued today than it was before because it's so hard to maintain in younger women. It's easier for the younger women to be able to maintain it long than the older woman because she's got to deal with age and she so happen to have children. I think whenever you're 21 and you have a child, I would argue that it's easier to snap back by 23, 24. You know what I'm saying? Not even that long. But if you like 35, pushing 40 and you have a kid, it's probably going to take you a little longer depending on, your energy. I think the older you get in just physics, you just lose the energy to want to kind of maintain uh that look. And it becomes harder. It's understandable. That's why I like brothers like myself who love their women and love their wife are able to understand that it's gonna come a time where she's not gonna have the energy. And you have to love her for other things because those things are gonna come and go. But the guys that have got money and status, their outcomes isn't about all those things. They just want to have fun. So
Right.
you got to understand what outcomes they want. The outcomes is going to get laid, and they're probably going to go for the one who's more beautiful, not the one who can cook or who can nurture or who can
Guys
maintain a
like
household.
having or being more attracted. What did she say? Guys. I do feel like guys. I forgot how she said it, but I feel like guys do look as women as tools. Like you said, they just want them for sex. They don't really care about anything else, and they do wish to have romances, like you said, Marcus. But it's interesting because I just watched the new season of Unprisoned with Kerry Washington, and it was an episode where, I guess when she was younger, she had like a really close friend. She was best friends with this girl, and I guess they just had a moment as teenagers, and they kissed, and she like ghosted her friend, didn't talk to her for years, and then she came back, and she kind of analyzed the situation, and they kissed again, and then she had a moment in the bathroom, and she came back after just kind of gathering her thoughts, and she said that she realized that she's not into women, but she does love the relationship between her and her friend, but it's more so due to like an intimacy between them. Like they're really close. She can share her secrets with her. Like they just kind of click like that. So I don't know if that's the thing with men and maybe women. I know I see it a lot more with men where they would rather be around their friends the only time they want to be around a woman if it is for pleasure. So I do agree with her.
Well, if you put men in a box like that, it's also disingenuous. It's just a particular type group of men that want to move
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, it's a particular type of man for sure. Is I'm not
Right.
categorizing all men, but just speaking on the men that she was referring to in the video, and it kind of sounds like this might be the type of guy that Andrew Tate
I
and
think he was just talking
Fresh
about Andrew
is.
Tate and his brother's relationship, and we kind of swindled that over to men wanted to be like that. I think that's precisely his relationship with his brother is so strong. They do everything together. I mean, I see some men like that, but not for the most part.
I
And
see men like that. That's why that stuck out to
it,
me.
So
it's
I think so. I think what happens. This actually answers Mistaken's question. It goes to her question. These men they're all in the same pool. The men and the women. They're all operating in the same pool, and they all have the same policy prescriptions for each other. Like if you like the type of women that they are encountering are the ones that follow what's the hell that woman name is Shira Seven, yeah, you know what I mean, those type of women. And the Andrew Tate, not really, I ain't gonna say Andrew Tate because he has a whole nother other, but like the Fresh and Fits, the red pill and within the red pill space, that fresh and fit dynamic of it, they're encountering those women. So they're all in the same dating pool, creating policy prescriptions on how to deal with one another. So when they talk about just using or getting your money up or doing this just so you could just pull a bad bitch, that's exactly who the type of women that they're talking about. Like,
Yeah,
so
I
they,
think I
So
don't.
we're gonna end up moving on from this topic real quick. I'm gonna drop 2 cents in, and then we're gonna get to the super chats. So
Okay, no
I'll say
smoke.
this.
Hey,
I'll say this. We have men. This is a response to. She's right about that. It being a response to what they've received. So what women have to understand is that men go through things as boys, and it goes through and maybe to their beginning of their adulthood where they may not know how to navigate in relationships. They may not know how to talk to women as well, and they don't understand that there's a lot of skills that you have to develop for women to be attracted to you. In most cases, if you're not a genetic celebrity, if you are not rich, then you have to work extremely hard to obtain and retain women, right? And women basically, like, for women to say certain things like the average man's height is 6 feet, that means that they are completely disconnected from reality, right? And a lot of women think that the average height is 6 feet. You hear women say that all the time. And that's because the men who are not 6 feet are virtually invisible to them. So when you get a guy who's been, I'm not going to say it, but I don't want to use the word, I don't know if it's flagged or not, but involuntary, you know what? He has no access to women, basically, right? So if you're one of these guys and then you get in a position where now you have women, you're going to try to make it your advantage because your trust for women has been dwindled, right? You're naturally going to disdain women to a certain extent. And then it is what it is. And these guys don't want to lose that power dynamic. And because they have never developed the social skills to obtain women, they use their status, they use their money, and they'll try to gain as much vanity as possible so they can be a player in the game that's winning. And is it more now? We could go all back and forth about the morals, but how can we really? Nobody can really say what's right and what's wrong. We can say what we think is right, what we think is wrong, but you certainly can say what's right for you, right? But if you're not hurting people and people are cooperating, like I mentioned, Justin Wiley, he has his wife, and she's okay with getting him girlfriends. Nobody's hurt, and the exchange for that is she doesn't have to really do anything. She has a lifestyle that less than 1% of men can provide for her, and she doesn't have a worry in the world. It's extremely easy for her. And for some people, that's a trade-off that they're willing to take, is him dealing with other women. Not every woman is so attached to the man where they feel like they can't share. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It's not right for me, but that doesn't mean that I need to tell everyone that it's wrong. Now, if once there's abuse involved, I think it's wrong. Once you're being dishonest about it, I think it's wrong. But I normally don't tell people how to date unless they are specific about what the outcome they want is, and then you say, all right, well, this is how you strategize to get that outcome, like Darwin mentioned earlier. And if the male and the female is okay with it, who are we to judge as an outsider?
absolutely.
All right.
Can I say
We're
one
gonna
more
get
thing?
to the. Go ahead, Ruth. You
I
got it.
just want to say something real quick. I think that women have to be a little bit more diverse and like read more and talk about business more. Not the same things. Like if you want men to not relate to men so much, yes, men do need to go to their cave. They do have to relate to their boys and get in their masculinity, but we have to like talk about the world, study the world, what's going on in the world, and have different kind of conversations. If we talk about the same little thing, and he had to understand you, but you never try to understand him, then yeah, you would be boring to a man. So we have to do our part to be interesting and to know stuff, and then stop talking like you said. They're not talking facts if they're talking about every man is 6 feet. Like you should know that. Just Google it, and you'll see what the average man is. If you see a word, you just Google it that you never heard of and expand your vocabulary. When you do these things, you do become more interesting to men. Your conversation level goes up, your intellectual level goes up. We can't say we want them to be a little more emotional and then we don't do our part to be more intellectual. That's all I have to say.
Very nice,
Bars
Ruth.
right there,
Very
Ruth.
nice.
Bars, okay.
Because the
I hear
women,
you
a
with
lot
that.
of women don't like men just as much as they say men don't like women. A lot of women do
Absolutely.
not like
We have some
men at
misandrists out
all.
here for sure. We've
So
had a
yeah.
couple come through some time before too, so we know that's real.